I figured we do Taurus on the train. So, all my fellow Taurians, we are going to start off with a little discussion. I brought a few decks with me, but I figured we'd talk. I watched this video. These other people I can't control. They're talking, and you can't control the whistles and all that, so please bear with me. Let me take off my shoes. Okay, so I was watching this video. It's a video was Howard. The video was on 1 times 1.
The identity element to the test.
And I ran a big argument with my JoJo, my ex, with everything, you know. And it says, they proved it. And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking back to when I was learning.
Can you see where the mistake has occurred?
And
both of these scenarios are
in this video that I said to myself were the same things that I said to myself back when I was in 1 grade learning my times table. So, let me explain a little. If you have 1 times 1 equals 1. Okay. If you have that,
is consistent with 2
and then you have 2 times 2 equals 4. And 4 times 4 equals 8. You know, you see there goes in order, and then with
yet the math and
the
scientific community tells us that common sense and logic are wrong in this case because of a product of an arbitrary convention called the identity product.
And it doesn't even sound right, especially when you put it like this. They're like, well, 1 times 1 has to be 1, you know. If you take 1 of something and you times it by another something, you should then have 2 somethings, not less of something or the same. And that's where it brings up the fact of multiplication itself. Now, the definition of multiplication or to multiply is to increase in number. Multiply, you know what I mean? Now, if you take 1 times 1 and it equals 1, is that multiplication? No, because you are not increasing by number. So that just goes to show another way to prove, you know, that 1 times 1 does not equal 1. Using 0. 1 times 0 equals 0. Again, we're not multiplying. We're not increasing by any number. We're not adding on or multiplying anything. 0 times anything is 0. So they said, so what is 0? Just the number gobbler. And it just gobbles all the numbers. That was another implication. Another example they used was the periodic table. They took it out of the number context completely and said, okay, just like 1 times 1, any number has itself. How about we use, instead of 1, how about we use, replace that with H for hydrogen. Now, if you take hydrogen, that's just like, you know, the identity of 1. Now, if you take hydrogen times hydrogen, you're not going to get less hydrogen, you're going to get H2 with multiply. So, he proved that by using 1 as like a hydrogen symbol, that to prove again that 1 times 1 is 0. And this just goes to show how this Pluto in Aquarius is really coming in forceful with force, because we have things like this question of
away from a path potentially misguided for over 6,000 years.
Like I started multiplication. Why hasn't it come out with this one? I've questioned this before, but I didn't think, that question was really stir up the whole, this 1 times 1 is. If you just explain this to a friend or to a person, to a younger child in school, and see the reaction, or, hear commentary, the dispute, the arguments, the disagreeing, you know what I mean? But once you explain it and really look at it in detail, 1 times 1 does not equal 1. So let me know in the comments what you think about this. I posted a link of that video in the description, so if you want to watch it and just see the details, you may. Alright, we're gonna get into it, guys. Let me get the
Allow me to enlighten you. If 4 over 2 is the inverse operation of 2 times 2 equaling 4, then it would naturally follow that 2 divided by 1, or 2 over 1, is the inverse operation of 1 times 1 equaling 2. So let's talk about this. What does your common sense tell you about these two scenarios? What do they have in common, and what are their differences? Division. The number 4 is divided by 2 twice. And the truth is, the number 2 is divided by 1 twice. The proof of that, if you had $2 and split it between 2 people, you would have to give each person $1 in order for it to be even. In addition, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. Subtraction, 4 minus 2 equals 2, and 2 minus 1 equals 1. Multiplication, 2 times 2 equals 4, and 1 times 1 equals 1. Does that make sense to anybody there? Does that seem like it's following any similar line of congruency? I mean, can you see where the mistake has occurred? Both of these scenarios are identical in every way. The only difference exists in dimension alone.
Terrence Howard delves into the foundational similarities between the structure of the universe and our mathematical systems. He begins with a profound statement. In our number system, all the numbers have something in common. Every number following the number 1 is a product of the number 1. This assertion sets the stage for a compelling analogy between the simplicity and complexity of the universe's building blocks. Terrence points out that multiplication, governed by the commutative and associative laws, essentially involves adding a number to itself as indicated by another number. He argues that by these laws, 1 times 1 should logically equal 2. Challenging the conventional identity property, which he sees as suspending fundamental laws of motion. He invites us to consider what's more plausible, questioning observable physical phenomena or an arbitrary mathematical rule. Intriguingly, Terrence notes that throughout history, no great thinker or observer of natural phenomena has ever reported 1 times 1 equating to 1, suggesting that nature doesn't conform to human mathematics. He finds it surprising that no one has publicly challenged this notion before, ingrained in our minds from an early age, before we could discern truth from fiction. 1 times 1 equals 1, or so we've been taught. We were taught around this very impressionable time that Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny were also real. Yet, over the next few years, we ultimately came to terms with the fact that our chimneys were far too narrow for a jolly old fellow to climb down. The assertion that 1 times 1 equals 1 was implanted in our minds at a young, impressionable age, a time when questioning the accuracy of what we're taught isn't typical. As adults, however, our beliefs need to be grounded in strong, convincing arguments backed by natural phenomena, concrete evidence, and irrefutable facts. Every adult holds responsibility for their beliefs and the ideas they spread into the world, especially those that significantly impact our understanding of the universe. Therefore, Terrence boldly challenges the long-held belief that 1 times 1 is the undisputed definition of the word, to multiply. Terrence Howard suggests that merely redefining multiplication or questioning the identity element in mathematics might not be enough to sway deeply rooted beliefs. He recognizes the challenge in altering a philosophy so integral to our world economy, pondering what it would take to enlighten this generation. Terrence Howard prompts us to question the fundamental principle of mathematics. How did we come to believe that an action times an action equals a non-reaction? On the identity of zero in multiplication, any number multiplied by zero will become a zero product. First thing, in order to multiply something by something else, they must be dimensionally equal. Then how do you make something dimensionally equal to nothing? The laws of conservation of energy might as well pack up and move away, because how can a something multiplied by nothing cause the something to disappear? Remember, energy cannot be created or destroyed.
Okay, what I see is the King of Cups with firearms. If this King of Cups is you or somebody you know, it's like there's been a fire put under your ass, and even there's even like a fish like under, like literally under it in the water, like the other fish. Okay, so the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very caring, compassionate. He is very mature when it comes to his emotions. And this is being in control of your actions and your compassion and your love. And it's funny because the fire under his ass is love. You see these two candles together, even creating a heart. Let's read this. Love. It's number 6. It says, love is love. Love is not this. Love is not complicated or cool. Love is not blind or dumb. Love is not abusive. Love is not demanding or controlling. Love is not a test or a problem. Love is not political, greedy, or stingy. Love is not possessive, impatient, or wishy-washy. Love wants not, needs not. Love holds no grudge, states no claim, has no boundary, no face, no gender, color, or creed. Just as sunlight dances over water or silently enters a darkened room, illuminating all that it touches, so does love gently glow from within. Love's radiance loses nothing, yet the more it is felt, the more it increases. It's like that fire under his ass. The wellspring of love never runs dry. Just as a solitary flame is undimmed by lighting 1,000 candles, each of us is a conduit for love. In that way, we can illuminate, nourish, and support the world. Union may be symbolized by 2 wax candles, the tips of which touch each other so closely that there is but one light, or again, the wick, the wax, the light become one. But the one candle can again be separate from the other, and the 2 candles remain distant. But spiritual, illuminating all that it touches, so does love gently glow from within, brightening all. Spiritual marriage is like rain falling from heaven into a river or stream, becoming one and the same liquid, so that the river and rainwater cannot be divided, or it resembles a stream flowing into the ocean, which cannot afterward be disunited from it. This marriage may also be likened to a room into which a bright light enters through 2 windows. Though divided when it enters, the light becomes one. So it's funny how we did it 1 times 1 does not equal 1. But when you take the 1 and the 1, it can be 1. But it's like the raindrops, how they say. You take that 1 number added, instead of 1 being the identity as one alone, one, and make everything one. One should be a universal number and add to every number, every whatever it is, if there's order in one droplet, add to the other. Although it's multiplying by number, it's one and all the same. Okay, so on either ends of this, what love is not right. Then you have the wisdom and the emperor in reverse. So wisdom being the world and adds the last stop of like cycles and endings, and like you went through this whole journey. When you go through whatever you go through, you learn as you grow. As you know, you grow. Or you grow as you know. So wisdom and the emperor are on either side of the globe, saying that perhaps that's why this is like what love is not. So instead of, well, there's like a clue, like instead of like what love is, even if you don't know what love is, as long as you know what love is not, that should help you figure out what love is. So we have the wisdom with the whale. Now right away I see communication, and with the whale in reverse, it's like the communication has it's miscommunication. It's like the whale in dark in what is it? I mean, it's like, and she's like, oh, I speak whale. It's like a whole nother language. Or a whole nother, it's a whole nother language. And then with the emperor in reverse, it's like, okay, so it's like the wisdom, it's like miscommunication with the emperor in reverse. And we talk a lot about the emperor, especially lately, about being responsible, and since we're talking about what is analysis is being irresponsible, it's just being spontaneous, not having anything planned. This is like not like if you say something, you want to stick by it. This is not, it's not responsible, it's not consistent, and rightness, right to the left of the emperor is gratitude in reverse. So the lack of gratitude is what is taking this emperor office. So not only that, but the deception. There's deception right up of like the deception's on his feet or on his toes right here. And right above that is the moon. So it's like this moon is in reverse. So this whatever is hidden. The deception is hidden. It seems as though it doesn't come out until we are grateful. And then it comes out. Because if you look, he's having the communication right. There's this ball of gratitude. It's going into the deception. So perhaps you have to be grateful for deception. And then it's on his toes, you see? And then this ball finally comes out. So it's like, does this come out when the gratitude leaves? And then what has to happen in order for that to happen? So now we take a look at the Four of Cups. Now the Four of Cups is in reverse. There's a pause. So perhaps we have to take a pause and receive the help being offered. If somebody is offering you a helping hand or something, and that's what's going to help you appreciate this gratitude. We have the perseverance. So it's like we are, this Four of Cups is right in between the King of Swords in reverse and the deception. And it's no wonder why it's like it takes you to the deepest of the darkest, and then you ask for help. Like, you don't have to wait until you get to to the absolute bottom to ask for help. You know what I mean? If the house is falling on you and you scream for help as the house is falling, somebody could help you move out of the way before the house falls, versus if you wait until the house is already falling on you and you're screaming for help, it's going to take a lot more help. It's going to take a lot more people to lift that house up off of you. It's best to ask for help before you're at the worst. You know what I mean? Okay, so the understanding 17 is the star, which is healing. So wait, let's go back to the King of Swords and the deception with the Four of Cups. Okay, so the King of Swords and deception. So the King of Swords in reverse basically is deception. This is lies, this communication that is untrue. And with this deception, that's like a wolf in sheep's clothes. Again, this is lies. And perhaps that's why the wisdom and the emperor are in reverse. It's not you. If it's not somebody else that's lying or that's in this deception, then perhaps it's somebody else. If it's not you, perhaps. I mean, if it's not anybody else you know, perhaps it is you. Perhaps it's easy. So, right below the King of Swords is the Nine of Swords. Now, perhaps that's how we get to the King of Cups. We go through all of, we get buried under a house, and we go through all this shit. So now we know basically what it's not. Whether it's love or another situation we're talking about. On top of the wisdom, we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is normally people working together, but here's like two people working against one person. What do you see? Are you on the top or bottom? Okay, where I was going with this, the understanding and all the hats. Okay, so the Seven of Cups. We have all these hats. So we become. So how do we get this understanding? Once again, we're through this, and we are letting go of our labels. That's what I hear with this setup here. Choices. We are letting go of our labels. There are many hats here. Maybe you wear many hats. I see him like waving goodbye to 2, 4, 7 of them. So perhaps you have to find a new label, a new hat, a new coat to wear, either literally or figuratively speaking. This is choices in reverse, so perhaps we are not making the right choices, and that's where this healing is coming from. Right above that, there are two very spiritual cards between the understanding, which is like the Star, and the Hermit. Now, that has to be done with scrutiny, and we did a video about that. But with scrutiny, you have to go on your own. This Hermit is looking at this scrutiny with this, his lantern. This Hermit goes on the mountain and goes by himself, and perhaps you have to do that. Be like this Hermit, go off on yourself, like in this, and see where you lack the perseverance, where your emotions come in, where Cancer has to be involved, where an older lady, an older person, the past, the present, something has, where you need a refresh. This is seeing the situation from new eyes, not how you always look at it, but from a new set of eyes. I see a new set of eyes. And perhaps you have to see instead of what love is and what love is not. And remember, love is not cool, love is not. And then see, and then that's where this moderation comes in. And so it was so beautiful. We're going to read understanding number 17. After crisis and upheaval, a silence of understanding arises. It is an intensely personal experience of expansion, insight into oneself, and still deeper into the vast mystery of life. The deliverance is a state of grace. One is still and knows. Our senses are the window to the soul, and it is within the soul that the alchemy of understanding occurs. True understanding is beyond language and beyond words. While it is owned by none, it can be shared by all. It is universal. Words are the tools of understanding, but silence offers our inmost understanding that resonates gently from the heart of being. Like a smile, it cannot be borrowed, it can only be expressed. Understanding grows through self-awareness, reflection, and witnessing whatever life brings, the pain, the challenges, the attachments, and the joy. Don't turn away from the trials and hardships of life, for they cultivate understanding that calms the mind and brings peace to the heart. Profound understanding can occur in a moment when a fragment of insight clarifies a life lesson, even after many lifetimes. In the right timings of things, while watching an everyday event like a leaf falling, an illuminating shift in perception occurs that reveals the extraordinary in the ordinary. Understanding can be elusive, hovering in the mists just out of reach until, when forged by the practice of witnessing and meditation, it rises to the surface of one's consciousness. When guided by good judgment, understanding becomes wisdom. Understanding and wisdom are soulmates, for without understanding there can be no wisdom, and without wisdom, understanding loses its purpose. Together they shine a light on one's path ahead. So that worries me, because on the other side of the reading we have the wisdom in reverse. So without wisdom, you don't understand. So perhaps that's the issue here, and that's why there is perhaps this understanding will help you be more wise. But this love is the key to put a fire under your ass to switch all this around. And I was thinking of something when I was reading this. That I was watching this thing about bodily expressions, about expressing, and about communication. And they said using words as tools, but they said to listen to your senses. Now, about your senses, you don't have to speak no words or to have anything on anything, as long as you have, you know what I mean? You can feel love. You can feel understanding. You don't have to, these are words that you don't have to speak. These are words that can be felt. And I mean, I guess every word can be felt. There's more words that can be felt than understood through actual words. You know what I mean? Like, there's no words for half of these feelings that I feel. I'll tell you now. So perhaps you feel the same, that they don't even have a word for this right now, for what I'm going through. There is no word. There's no word to describe it. Perhaps that's how it is right now. I'm looking, we're talking about togetherness, what this says. Together, we are limitless. Is that funny? So, the wisdom will get turned around. I'm trying to think of I don't really like without the moderation's the key to this teamwork. And like I said about this house, you want to ask for help prior to that. That's very important. The main thing is to be like this King of Cups and put the fire under your ass. Okay, Taurus, happy early birthday. Almost at my stop. I wanted to thank you for joining me here on my train ride. I hope you had an awesome ride. And thank you so much.